joining us here on the Comic Culture Warrior video channel. We are now at the part that we like to call Last Rants. But leading into Last Rants, because it does have to do with what we're going to rant about, or at least what Jose is going to rant about, Batman what number was it?
688.
688 by Judd Winnick, Mark Bagley, and Rob Hunter on inks. Yet another really solid book by Judd Winnick. The more I read this, the more I think Judd Winnick fits in nicely in the Bat stable as far as one of the Batman writers. He really gets this. I don't know, maybe it's because he really gets Dick Grayson really well. He does get Dick Grayson really well, and he writes that character, growing into the skin of Batman. Mm-hmm. So reading this is the second issue that Winnick has written since the Batman Reborn titles have started. And Winnick also hits on some of the same themes that Grant Morrison hit on in the Batman and Robin issue number 2. The changing dynamic between the relationship between, of course, Dick and Damian as Batman and Robin, and of course Batman and Commissioner Gordon. Here, Commissioner Gordon also makes an observation that, or not so much Commissioner Gordon, but he has like another detective with him, Sergeant Pike, who's on the roof with Gordon as they're setting off the bat signal, and Pike's like, you keep flipping this thing off and he doesn't show up. Why are you doing it? And Gordon is, telling him, in not so many words, why. And Pike even says, because you used to meet him alone. Well, now you have me here. Why is that? And also, I think Pike even observes that it's not the same guy, it seems to them. That it's not the same Batman that they've always known. So the police in the Gotham City, the GCPD, they know something's going on.
Well, and what you were going to say, what you didn't, was that the big thing here, a comment that Gordon makes as why it's on it, and he says to let him know we're here. So he knows that whoever this Batman is not the real Batman, and he knows that he needs help.
Everyone seems to know, and Winnick is approaching it from one direction. This was something that also happened in Streets of Gotham City. Paul Dini addressed it as well. So they're all coming at the same thing. But I think
we have to say that Mike Martz who's doing the Batman books, editor, is just doing a good job, because all the books actually feel for once that they're all happening around the same time, and they have the same themes going on.
Yes.
And they're actually keeping everything straight, so nothing's contradicting itself.
Right. Unlike what happened with Iron Man all the time, with Secret Invasion.
And Battle for the Cowl before this.
Battle for the Cowl. So, needless to say, a solid effort here. And I've always been a fan of Mark Bagley. I know you haven't always been. I know Avi really doesn't care for him. But I thought, especially here, it's just it looks to me like he's not, and maybe a big part of it too has to do with the inker. This doesn't look like a rushed job. It just seems very well rendered.
Here's the thing, and I'm not going to come out and say that I dislike Mark Bagley immensely. I'm just not a big fan of his artwork, but, and I've said this time and time again, I have to respect the guy because he gets work done on time. He always goes above and beyond, and his work does never really look rushed. It's just his style that I'm not a big fan of. But he puts everything he has into everything that he does, and like I said, I have to respect him immensely for the work ethic that he has. When so many artists nowadays, can't even compare to the output that he does.
And then you get back into the issue here now. Damian is getting mentored a bit by Dick Grayson, and Dick Grayson is explaining to Damian why, in the middle of a fight, he talks so much.
Mm-hmm.
And he explained why he did it. And really, the way the justification that Dick Grayson gives for being so boisterous in the middle of a fight is very similar to why Peter Parker does it.
Right.
Peter Parker would always crack jokes and do things to keep his opponents off balance, to keep him off guard. And if some of his jokes get his opponent pissed off, even better, because then that makes you sloppy when you're angry. So it's fine, and it's interesting too to have Damian kind of taken down pretty handily by Dick Grayson.
And then after their little sparring session, you kind of get the thing where Damian is kind of starting to respect Dick Grayson just a little bit.
A little bit.
He's kind of, it's for as much as Damian can respect somebody that's not Bruce Wayne.
For someone who's been raised by the League of Assassins, though, Dick took him down kind of easy.
He's 10 years old, dude.
But still, but again, let's go the opposite way. If he's such a badass,
but this fucking Dick Grayson.
I know, but it's not Batman. Anyway, and here's the other thing too. It's kind of interesting. Winnick is also playing the whole Two-Face, Penguin dynamic. That
so much better than
what was happening in Battle for the Cowl. And you can see the echoes of Battle for the Cowl in this. You can see where kind of Judd Winnick... I go, wow, if this is the way he's handling this now, how much better would Battle for the Cowl have been? So... all in all, this is really...
I mean, the stuff with Two-Face and Two-Face, actually figuring out also now that Batman is not really the Batman.
Yeah. And there's a foreshadowing in the very beginning here. Well, there's a bookend here where you can see things aren't going to go very well for Dick
there's a flash
Batman.
forward.
There's a flash forward, and then the rest is flashback. So I'm curious as to how we get to this point. But, this is a theme that has been explored in the past. What is Batman? Is Batman the mystique, or is he the man behind it? So that's something that's going to be interesting to see how Winnick plays that out. Because I'm reading this, and quite frankly, I still can't get over how Gotham City just went to complete crap in Battle for the Cowl. I just don't. I just don't get it.